Good morning everyone. It's me Chandikla here. In last class we have covered units of mass and now we will cover units of time. So as we always do, we will start from SI unit, that is second. But the interesting thing is for time in all the systems we are having its unit as second. So we don't have to separately remember that. However, whenever we will need a larger value, we will also be talking about hours, but the units in all the system is second only. So first of all we will define what is 1 second. So 1 second is defined as 1/86400th part of mean solar year, that means of mean solar day. So 1 second is considered as this much part of mean solar day. So of means obviously then you will say multiply 1/86400 multiply solar day means a normal day. Normal day means 24 hours, or you can say the time in which the earth completes its one rotation on its own axis, that is one day only. So here we can write 1/86400 into 24, but that will be in hours. If we want to later convert it into minute, we will multiply it by 60 and then by seconds by 60. So that is known as 1 second. This is one simple definition, but here two definitions are given, and the second definition is 1 second is defined as the time interval of 9192631770 vibrations of radiation corresponding to the transition between two hyperfine levels of ground state of cesium 133 atom. See, when we read this definition first time, it looks somewhat complicated because the wordings are such that, but really it's not that much complicated. You see, first of all, here a large number is written. We don't have any option. We will have to remember it as it is in the simplest way in which you can learn. Choice is up to you. You can directly learn it as 9192631770, or otherwise in your usual way, that is international system, that is 9,192,631,770. So that is your choice. Anyhow, we will have to remember this number. So actually 1 second is that time interval in which these many vibrations of cesium 133 atoms are completed between two hyperfine levels of ground state. In chemistry, we have learnt ground state, excited state. We have learnt that normally when any atom is in ground state, if we will give some energy to it, or you can say when it will get some ionization energy, it will go to first excited state. If still we will give some energy, it will go to second excited state. But we have also learnt that between these two states there are many hyperfine state levels are also there. So the cesium 133 atom is actually vibrating. This is known as vibration, because this is not like that if once you have sent any atom to the excited state, it will go and sit there permanently. That's not possible. After some time it will emit the energy and it will come back to the ground state. So that means these are also the vibrations. So when cesium 133 atom completes how many vibrations? These many vibrations between two hyperfine ground state levels. That means here it is vibrating. This is one vibration, second vibration, like this. How many vibrations? These many vibrations. So one cesium 133 atom completes these many vibrations. That time taken by this cesium atom to complete these many vibrations between any two hyperfine levels of ground state is known as 1 second. Okay, now here the last question which can arise in your mind is cesium 133 atom. Why only this? So as I have already explained, whenever we are defining something, we try to take it standard. Okay, so just because we are having a reliable frequency, you will learn it in the higher classes, or maybe in some of the chapters somewhat we will learn about frequencies and wavelengths. So we don't need to go so deep right now. Right now it's enough that 1 second is the time interval in which cesium 133 completes this many vibrations between any two hyperfine states of the ground state. Now we will see some smaller units of time, in which the first given is millisecond. As we have already learnt, milli means 10 raised to power minus 3, and the second one given is microsecond. This mu, actually micro is represented by mu, that is equal to 10 raised to power minus 6 seconds. Then we have learnt actually nano. So 1 nanosecond is equal to 10 raised to power minus 9 seconds. These all prefix we have already learnt very earlier. Here one more extra thing is given, that is 1 sec is equal to 10 raised to power minus 8 seconds. So as we have learnt that per sec is the unit of length, similarly we have to keep in mind that sec is the unit of time, because in rest all the units you will already get their second. So from this word second you will understand its time, but here we have to remember by this word itself that this is the unit of time. This we have to remember. Now we will see some larger units. Okay, so the first one given is minute, and we know relation between minute and second. We know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Okay, we will be defining everything with respect to second, because SI unit is second. And the second one given is hour. That also we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and then 60 into 60 seconds. Okay, and then the third one is day. That we know 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Later you can convert it into second. 24 into 60 into 60. If you will multiply it by 60, you will get it in minutes, and then by 60 then in second. Okay, and we know that day is the time in which the earth completes its one rotation about its own axis. That is known as 1 day. Okay, from fourth point onwards we have to see somewhat new things, that is lunar month. Okay, to start it we have to see one more concept, that is we use actually two types of calendars. So first we will see something about them, and then we will define it. So the first one is Gregorian calendar, and second one is lunar calendar. And this is the calendar which we are using here in India. Okay, so this calendar is actually based on revolution of earth around sun, because we know that the earth is revolving around the sun, and the moon is revolving around the earth. Okay, so it depends, or it is designed according to the timing of revolution of earth around the sun, whereas our calendars are based on phases of moon. Okay, next thing is, according to this, on the basis of phases of moon, we are having 29.5 days in 1 month, which is known as one lunar month. We are looking for this definition only. That means lunar month is the time of the month, or time period in a month, which is based on the phases of moon. And according to this, actually we are having one revelation completed in 29.5 days. That means according to the phases of the moon, when we see to them, or when we observe them, then one lunar month comes out to be 29.5 days. Okay, which approximately we have done 30. Okay, obviously, because if you will round off 29.5, you will get 30 days. Okay, so for 1 month it's okay. If you are just rounding off 0.5, that doesn't matter much for 1 month. But the problem started because we are not having only 1 month, but we are having total 12 months. Okay, and for this 12.5 creates a problem. Okay, so that time for 12 months, according to these many days, that is not according to 30 but 29.5 days, we are getting 354.37 days in 1 year. 12 months means 1 year only, na? We are getting these many days. However, here we are saying that it is 365 days. So there is a difference of nearly 10 days between both these. Okay, So next topic is month. Just as we have seen, in 1 year we will have 12 months, okay, but here the number of days which we have considered is 365 days. That's why our some months are having 30 days, some are having 31, some are having 28, that means Feb 28, or sometimes 29. Just to balance this difference of 10 days, we cannot equally divide 365 into 12 months. So that means things, you know, in 1 year we will have 12 months, and in 1 month we will approximately we will take 30 days, but we know that all our months will not have 30 days. Here what we have to remember is name of the months according to days. That means we know that in we should know that in which month how many days are there, which we have learnt in first second class na, same way. So this is month, and the next one is then year. So as we know, 1 year is defined as the time which earth takes to revolve around the sun. Complete time taken for one complete revolution around the sun by earth is known as 1 year, okay, which we considered approximately 365 days. We considered that there are 365 days in 1 year, but it's not the exact value. Actually the exact value is 365.2425, and more accurately 365.2422. This is the value. So when we round off this 2.22, then we go 2.25, and when we round off this one, then we took it approximately 365. That means this is the exact value of number of days in 1 year, but at an average for easy calculation we considered it as 365 days. Now you may need to convert that into second, so you will do, you know that these many days, so in 1 day there will be 24 hours, in 1 hour there will be 60 minutes, and in 60 minutes there will in 1 minute there will be 60 seconds. So if you will multiply it by likewise here, then we will get actually the time in the seconds. Next heading is leap year. As we have seen here, you see 365.2422. We have round off it once and then second time. It's okay. For 1 year it is just only 0.24, but the same problem which we faced in the lunar month, same we will face here also, because this 24, or you can say 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, when so many 0.25 will get added, then it will create a problem. So that means leap year is a year in which we are having 366 days. Instead of 365 we are having 366 days, because you see 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25 and plus 0.25. If we will add it 4 times, we will get 1 day, and after every 4 years, that's why we are having 366 days in 1 year. We consider it 366 days. Rest of the months we keep as it is. That means those months which were having 30 days, we kept them 30, and those which were having 31 days, we kept them 31. But we made a change in February, because in February was the only month which was having minimum days, which was having 28 days. So instead of this 28, in a leap year when we will have total 366 days, the February will have 29 days, from where this 1 day has extended, because when we have added this 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, that means after 4 years this all 0.25 will create 1 day, which will be increased here, and then we have increased it in the Feb. That means leap year is that year in which we have 29 days in the month of February. And the way to calculate that we have learnt in smaller classes. Even if we will divide it by 4 and completely divisible, we will say that it is a leap year. Next one is decade. So we know that 1 decade is equal to 10 years. Now if you want to further convert it into anything, that it means days, hours, minutes, seconds, then we can convert it, okay. And the next one is century. About that also we have already learnt, that is equal to 100 years. This we already know. And then millennium is equal to 1000 years, okay. So rest of the things we will be converting according to our requirements. If we will need in seconds or something else, then we can convert it. Rest of the things we will see in next class. Thank you.